Welcome to the last match of the first week of the 21st Grand Arena season, and it's the final match. So we both went 2-0, and because no one attacked yet, I think I can show the defense before jumping into the first match, and it's quite an interesting defense. GL on the north wall, and a couple of them on couple like 1.5 on the south wall. And some other nasty teams. And again, I had the pleasure to put Maul on gas duty because again the Datacron wasn't that impressive on gas, or impressive might be the wrong term, but not as threatening, let's put it like that. So just took in my standard counter to gas by now, if I don't have another use for Maul, that is. And it's pretty much a very reliable counter, except you play it wrong, which I did in the past as well. But generally it's quite straightforward. Just make gas it down, go for 5s, go for Rex, and then just go for the rest. And with the help of Datacrons, it's even easier because you might get some bonuses for your stats like offense or armor penetration. And it really helps just to finish the fight earlier and easier. So full banners, that was nice. Great start to the match, felt quite good. Then I thought I'd take on this JMK in a mirror. And mirrors are interesting. I think you usually just press auto, or you used to just press auto, but with those Datacrons there's sometimes a finesse to them, especially when you have those stun crons, let's call it like that, involved. And here I made a mistake, as you can see, because I always stunned Cat, but that allowed their JMK to go into ultimate, and then they can ignore taunt, so my tank is useless and they sniped my Cat. So mental note, just let Cat do her thing, or if ready, just like go to your ultimate or like half of that first, trigger it, and then take out Cat, and don't waste your whirlwind, not whirlwind, you know, this thing, how it's called, whatever. She's doing whirlwindy things with it. Use that on Cat instead of a tank. So, and you know, I mean, the tank is out, which is nice, but there's Padme and there's Cat, so they have quite some bonuses, and the stuns don't make it easier. So I wasn't really sure if I can push through and essentially try just to take out Cat and then go for the rest. Maybe there's an argument you could also like think about taking out Snips or whoever, because Snips is also annoying. She's potentially the most annoying when you fight with Lord Vader, because she constantly cleanses the team. But yeah, then there was stacking offense, and so I got just wiped out. So I had to clean up this. So after a great start, this was a bit of a downer in my run. But anyway, going to the next battle, which is this Redders team with the damage from deep for 2 turns. It doesn't really bug me because you can dispel it, as you can see here, which allows me then also just to have debuffs there and make cooldown increases. And overall, Redders is a very good team, I believe. I'm not really sure which is the best comp. Of course, you want to have Jin there. But other than that, some pre-taunting tank like base might be nice, or is nice. But other than that, I'm really not sure what's the best way to tackle it. I guess Chase has a place therein as well, especially with base. Might come in handy when you can cleanse your team or stuff like that. I isolated K2 so he doesn't get in the way with his like taunt, that I could take out Redders, as you have seen. And once Redders is down, it's pretty much, pretty safe battle, I'd say. Just make sure that you take out their main damage dealers next, which is either, in this case, Jin or Cassian. So they got Jin next, and then we went for Cassian. As you can see here, I'm still using like Talon. This is the first week, and I didn't put her on defense with Malgus. I was running, what's his name, Marauder, with the team, but then I switched to Talon because I think the bonuses that she gives are just too good to not make use of them. especially considering that you have to go for Malgus when he's taunting, and then you get the Emperor. Oh, so that's nice. Yep, so again, 60 banners here, nothing out of the ordinary. But speaking of out of the ordinary things, had to clean up this team, so took in Lord Vader with a little bit of a weird comp, to be honest. I never run that. So in the past, usually like in Arena when I was testing over there, usually just 4 tanks. So in essence 5 tanks, and just like press auto and see what happens. So here I just like had 2 tanks, and I felt maybe the ability blocks from Darth Vader can come in handy. Thrawn, they have a fracture, but he has a priority target, so doesn't really help that, and so he just was taken out too early. But then again, still felt quite okay. It's 2 versus 4, which usually is still in favor of Lord Vader, except they do what they're doing here, going like hard for him. But once they change target and leave him alone for a bit, he usually has enough survivability, like because of this breathing room that they are giving him, then you can just like wipe out the team. And but again, I mentioned it in the last video, Lord Vader battles are a little bit of a drag because it takes a long time for him to ramp up. But once he ramps up damage, it's quite fun to see. Then he basically takes out the whole team with an AoE or something, or I don't know. Here, Cat died the dots, which was nice. So then that concern was out of the way. Even if I fail here, I can clean up it easily. But still, the goal was to have this cleaned up with Lord Vader. And so far so good. Took out Snips. Then have to wait because, as you can see, Padme has damage immunity. And yeah, she's still annoying. She lost her own team like most of the times, but she's really good under JMK. So then she's gone. So all the praise for nothing. And then finished the battle with 2 standing characters, and was quite surprised that Royal Guard made it through. He's still R8 on my team. Then again trying the shenanigans with bounty hunters against Malgus, and here was a little bit of an interesting team with Dooku, I guess because he has the ability to hand out ability blocks, which was funnily phrased, fun phrase, and also like has shock on his team and in his kit, sorry. So I guess that was the thinking behind that, or the counterattacks, I'm not sure. But anyway, I got my contract. So just was waiting for Mando to take a turn, taking out Malgus, so that was okay. But after that, I still have trouble to clean this up. So yeah, a little bit unfortunate here, as you can see, because I'm losing my bounty hunters left and right. But this is a state where it's easily clean upable. Is that a word? I don't know. Where you can clean it up. Let's put it like that. And I did that with. Funny enough, with 2 characters here. This time I used Stormtrooper, First Order Stormtrooper as a tank, which, yeah, potentially didn't need him, but because I cleaned up stronger teams before with a solo Kylo. But sometimes when you're like in a battle and something went wrong, you just like want to play it safe from one of his things, and I guess this is why this happened. It's also interesting to look at these battles like after some time, because it's much easier to spot mistakes or like misplays or just stupid decisions in general. So that helps. Then, speaking of stupid decisions, this was a fun battle, or not really fun battle. It was like one of those cases where you just go in and just do your thing, and usually it goes well. But I always believe there is a timeout risk with Sori and Wampa. And she was quite beefy. The modding was beefy. I mean, not out of the ordinary beefy that you can call full-on beef, like with, I don't know, full health mods and full health primaries or stuff like that. But still quite a thick girl. If droids can be girls, I don't know. I think so. And so, yeah. Usually what you do is just like put it in auto, because otherwise it takes long. Stack your offensive capabilities with the roar. The healing immunity helps. Shock would be better as well if there was shock involved, of course. But yeah, somehow it didn't feel like I make any progress. Usually it feels like it. And so it was a drag. It's even like at double speed, so I sped it up here in the recording, it feels like you're watching paint dry. Which can be entertaining, I guess. It comes down to how the painting is laid out, right? And the structure and texture of your wall and all these kind of stuff, or your canvas, and then paint can be fun, I guess more fun than Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes at times. Yeah, no, just kidding. I mean, the game is fun, but because life is so busy for me, I'm not like as much invested as I used to be. Or maybe because of data crunch. I guess this is more the moral of the story. Maybe because they are showing me that I either A, stupid, or B, I don't care as much anymore, and so I don't invest so much time in understanding every bits and every nuance of them. And so that's why I dropped drastically in Event Arena. But climbing back up was also fun. And which is not fun, of course, is like seeing that there are only like 20 seconds left and there's still the Saudi standing strong, and Wampa has quite some problem. So I used auto basic because usually at some point you just want to do that. Potentially, yeah, would have needed like, I don't know, 1 minute longer, and then I could have finished this fight. And so I had to clean up this battle, which was meh. Yeah. Then fight against Mon Mothma. I believe this was Spec War, not 100% sure anymore. I already forgot what I've seen in the first frames of this video. And yeah, I think this is the first time I'm using Aiden against Mon Mothma, but I might be wrong. False memory, maybe I did it in some other cases as well. But it's pretty much, it's not an auto win, you still have to play it quite good, but it's very unlikely that you lose. Feels pretty much like a hard counter, if that is even a thing that exists in Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes nowadays. But yeah, 64, so other troopers can do it as well, but it's a little bit dicier. Then there was this fun team of Inquisitors, which we all love and adore. For that I just felt like taking in Starkiller, just to give them a Jedi tank to, you know, hit on, I guess is the word. Or maybe not, to hit, not hit on, that might be weird. But each to their own, of course. So, yeah, Starkiller felt at this point, after like, you know, you get going, a little bit almost like overkill, but at the same time, it can be an annoying team. I think it will lose viability on defense once their datacrons are fading out. But as of now, with a good datacron with them, they can be annoying. I had some holes with them, so of course you want to mod them well. That's also coming down to this. But here it felt like overkill. Got to my ultimate, which was nice. Got to heal back my team and then finish off Night Sister without any problem. So 65. Then yeah, Jedi on dash duty. With a dash of salt, just kidding. Yeah, it's you've seen, if you watch my videos on a regular basis, you've seen me doing this like not hundreds of times, but maybe like 5-6 times already. So just take out Vendor, take out dash, and then it's pretty much game over. And yeah, easy peasy. And this is one of the Jedi teams that I usually always leave for offense, so I can use those characters together to counter Kylo Ren, like SWGOH, but you don't see them anymore on defense, or even if, like with the Derek ones, it's not really sure how it will pan out. I guess at times easier because you have those JKL Datacrons, if you have them. Yeah, but it's kind of sad that you don't do these battles anymore, right? So, good old days. Where have they gone? Midlife crisis is hitting me right now, just kidding. Maybe not. This is, I think, a backwall fight, first order, with the TIE Fighter Omicron, I believe. Or maybe not, I might be mistaken here. So I took in Bad Batch, which is, yeah. First order doesn't pose a problem to them. It's, yeah, what can I say? Just let them do their thing and just take out the team. It's, Bad Batch is just, it's just fun. Yeah, one of the most entertaining teams in this game, I believe, and also the characters are nice, also like in universe. So it was nice. Then coming back to things that are not so nice, looking at Datacron JML with Repost. And usually you wouldn't use C there, right? Because they're going under protection, straight for the health pool. I use C because it worked for me in the past, like in a territory war. And what you would do then is just give the health tag to our friend C, because it helps him to regenerate health with every turn that is taken. And so Repulse, of course, still is threatening, but not as much, or at least that was my assumption. But I believe in Territory Wars it was an R8 JML, so it's not... The from the lead special is not so high, because the protection pool is not as high. And so, yeah, it felt weird here, and so then they got their ultimate and took out my C. So that was stupid. Didn't even get one character out. So then I tried, maybe Grievous can do something? Maybe. But maybe not. We will see. Oh, Grievous is gone, so I guess Grievous doesn't do anything except abandoning ship or abandoning battle. But not by escaping, but by escaping life. And so, yeah, that was unfortunate. Another team that, yeah, bit the dust to this Jedi, which I also placed on defense in the first week on the back wall. Did it get a hold? I believe one maybe, or maybe not. I might not be sure. Yeah, there are other teams that are quite easily capable of taking that out. So then I tried the BAM cron. I have the one where you can spam your special, like to keep people alive. But they also spam because my team is like getting demolished here. And so I could have potentially taken BAM lead, might have been better compared to Boba lead. But I wanted to see if this can do something. I was hoping for tenacity up at some point to hit, and so that Fennec gets some offense. But this might also just apply to Territory Wars. I have to check it again. So, yeah, the idea was just to kill them. Yeah, but of course, if they just take out my team, there is also the trigger that you get from BAM is not so worth it. And, no, I make a mistake. I think I got the bird one. This is like 20% more damage per bird or something like that. And so I was capable of taking out BAM with only a few birds. I have two for Mando. So I don't have other fancy ones like for Night Sisters or so. But at least two, so I can choose what feels best. And here I could at least take out Cam. Yeah, and then such a fun one. I was thinking that potentially healing immunity and tenacity down and shock from the lead. Or at least healing immunity and tenacity down from the lead from Dooku could help me taking out this girl. But yeah, see for yourself. It's also funny that like those Sith are not bad, but they feel like they are just a bad team here. I've unfortunately wasted the special. Yeah, and some shocks also they go under protection, so that helps us too, or like the stun from. And here potentially, here I could have needed the one like the 99k damage, but I don't even know if that would have been enough, to be honest. But yeah, let's see. There's still hope. Ability blocks, then suddenly my assassin is gone, which I potentially would have needed for her stunts and for her under protection shock and TM gain and all the kind of stuff she does, underrated character. But as you can see, Saudi doesn't really care, she just takes out one Sith by another. And so, another loss. Spoiler. This is another failed cleanup, put it like that. Not lost. So, yeah. Disappointed in Dooku, honestly. I'm looking down on him like he looked down on others in the past, so... What's wrong with you, guy? Just do your job. And there, oh, almost. Now I'm rooting for Sordi. Yeah. So I had to clean this up as well, but before that I wanted to clean up the JML team, and as I mentioned in the last video, this first week I just tried to play not full on offense, still tried to play tricky defense, but yeah, used 5G as an offense, and that's why I still had Ray, and so she's kind of my reinsurance here. And essentially just waiting for the ult and hoping that everyone stays alive until then. So the grenade healing is coming in handy here. Forward side as well is coming in handy, and that they, yeah, trigger the healing immunity. So have my ult, and from that point it's smooth sailing, because I know that once I'm hitting that, they all will be gone, and so I felt happy. In my lane, flourishing, or how this meme goes, I don't know. Yeah. So 29 banners, very bad banners, but anyway. So got it through, and now Night Sisters. I hope that Plague will help, but then also that just Spirit can do some damage, and she does, even though my morning is not optimal for her. Yeah. So Plague helps, of course, against these kind of characters, and so cleaned up Sorry. 30 banners, nice. One more than the JML cleanup. And so we're in chips, and that wasn't the last ground battle, by the way, there was still one left. So, but in chips, this time trying to make it better. I think after the last match I had a brain fart when I played this counter and played it wrong. And so I was like, yeah, maybe I should focus on the battle and not just like think what I will do next week also. And so that's what I did, but still weird that she was still like in highish yellow, Xanadu, after the big hit. So yeah, then got the ability block, but not the stun, unfortunately. But ability block is also okay. But if both fails, it's very bad. So I was happy about that. Could dispel all the stuff here. Big hit, call to assist on Slave 1, taken out, and so it felt quite okay how this fight went down so far. Didn't lose the shop yet, and so felt good. Unfortunately, couldn't stun because the TM was too low. Then called in my Ebon Hawk, just like land buff immunity, then big hit, take out our friend Hound's Tooth. Then IG2000 came in, can stun right away, call to assist, IG is gone. So this really feels like a very good fight in terms of how things pan out and work out. Unfortunately, even though good fight, not very good banners, even if you finish with all ships alive, because as you can see, there is protection missing in all of them and health as well. So only 67 banners, but overall I was kind of happy with this fight. It felt very fulfilling to see that I didn't use a character there or a ship. Then the Reddest one, and when MILF is there, just go for MILF, or RILF. Weird. And yeah, that panned out well. So still the tank is a bit annoying, because it can steal a banner or two depending on the fight goes down, but overall not really a problem. Here I was thinking reinforcement, yes or no, yes, so, and unfortunately dodged, but then another assistance and 73 banners. Oh, sorry. And now Executor versus Negotiator, and I believe this was a Relic 9 Negotiator, and I think Relic 9 Negotiator is quite good, to be honest. It makes also this counter feel a little bit wonky. Not really wonky in that sense, because I also played it poorly, because I usually don't play it. But I don't know. There is something to a Relic 9 Negotiator, like Relic 9 GK, even though it doesn't really feel, what's a good word for that, sexy, or like, I don't know, nice or exciting, maybe that's the best word for that, to put Relic 9s on tanks. But for GK it really makes sense. Yeah. But if you might have seen in the beginning of the fight in the chat there, I was putting Relic 9 on Aiden, so pretty much looking forward to that in the future. Like, because, or I've already seen results from that. It's just laughable what the amount of damage she does on the basic when she is leading her team. It's almost 300k. So, in certain circumstances, of course. Yeah. Yeah. So other than that, still trying to get them out. They're doing their thing and doing my thing. Got my second ult. bought an IG just to give a little bit of stun capabilities. Still waiting for the ult though, so sometimes it's just annoying, it's a drag. And I think the easiest way to get to your ult is when people just attack Slave 1 and he counters, then it's pretty much always a very quick ult. Which didn't happen here because there is no Slave 1, as you can see. So, or me there is, but he doesn't have retribution, sorry. Yeah, and he's barely hanging in there. But Houndstooth, as always, saving the day. Take out the ship, the capital ship, Negotiator, and then getting my second Oomph Ball, and then didn't take out a ship, unfortunately, but still could heal up. So, and I was quite sure I would take this home. For very bad banners again, but yeah, that's life, I guess. If this would have failed, I would still had a fleet to clean this up. I think I would have my own Negotiator. Yeah. But didn't want to play Mirror because I didn't have mine is slower and I didn't have TIE Fighter available, which is a good trick. So this is the last ground battle, and potentially a risky battle because there's Nest, and you know, teams such as Geos or Mothma with constant attacks or out of order, and so that just helped Nest to stay alive. And I was also slower than they were in to a certain degree with the days and the stuff, but still felt comfortable taking in this team, mainly because once they get rolling, they roll. And for Nest, the idea was just wait until our friend Kyle here has his 10 stacks of whatever the name is, and then make a big hit on Nest. So that was the idea. And so far so good. Could bring back our friend Half Scout because he wasn't killed by Django but by Nest. If it would have been Django, it would have been not so good, but yeah. No problem. Then we have a punching ball here, so I don't have to go for Nest, which is very nice. And here's the big hit, and so she's gone. Not even a crit, but was enough to take her out. And so and now it's just a matter of taking out Dengar. And so that was the last ground battle. Got full banners for that, and kind of a bad score. And unfortunately, this meant I also lost the round. I didn't record the final results, sorry about that, but my opponent almost, I think they only dropped 1 or 2 battles, and yeah, played very well, and also had a high legacy lifetime banners, so congrats to them. They won rightfully so, and that was weird, sorry about that. Thanks for watching, see you next, or maybe tomorrow I will post the first match of the second week, which was really fun. So hope you will show up then as well. So thanks for watching, bye.